I would say just in the way of like I just want to make them proud, and me leaving, I wanted to show them that like, it's okay to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And another big part of the reason why I left and I felt like I was able to stay was because I knew that I was chasing something rather than running away from something.
Ooh,
And
that's good. It is. I
um,
mean,
which like I've told my siblings, like especially my younger sister, like if there's something or there's somewhere that you feel like you need to be or you want to be, then there's like home is always gonna be here. Like
yeah.
you need to go out.
My English name is Susan Ryder White, and I am Turtle Clan from the Oneida Nation of Wisconsin. We're here today in the shop that I am running recently is Green Radiance. We've been open for a year and a half, and I do crystals here. We do wellness here. That is the goal. That is the underlining of everything. The purpose, the intention here is to offer some sort of wellness, mind, mental, spiritual, on different levels, different modalities, here as a service to our community, to surrounding communities in Indian country or wherever. But I periodically do fireside chats, we call them. And when I run into somebody or I see a highlight in someone's life that's going on, I like to interview them, and for the purpose of not just being on camera or whatever, but to enhance other people's lives and to share their stories to offer with other people going through things, particularly Indigenous people. So today I have a guest, and I'm excited to interview her or for her to share her story. Super excited. Her name is Micayla Silas, and she walked in my shop one day, probably about a month ago, I'd say, and I haven't seen her for a few years. Well, I don't know if it's a few years, but it's been a while, a little bit, maybe a year, last 2 years. I don't know. It's been a bit. So she comes walking in, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see you because I've seen her. I've seen her mom's videos play her as a basketball player in college. I've seen her grow up in our community and become this excellence of a person inside and out in all different perspectives, and not just basketball, but in a lot of ways. And so I'm just super excited to have her here. When she walked in, it just kind of lit me up, and that's the kind of presence she brings. So off the court, on the court, that's how I see her, and so it's always exciting to see someone excelling and to share maybe how she got there or the inside story of who she is. So I'd like to introduce Micayla. Welcome in.
Hi.
And so tell us a little bit about, I'm going to start out by just who are you? Like,
Yeah.
let's give us a background about maybe who your parents are, where you grew up, things like that.
For sure. Hello, my name is Micayla Silas. I grew up on the Oneida Reservation. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm enrolled in the Salt River Pima tribe. And my English name, as said before, is Micayla Silas. And my Nakota name is Chetan Dianguia, which means flying hawk woman.
Nice.
My parents are Rose Track is my mom, and Wayne Silas Jr. is my dad. And I have 3 siblings. My older brother, Floyd Silas III, my younger sister, Kitana Silas, and my youngest brother, Jackson Silas.
Okay, so welcome. So share today. I'm gonna dive into who you are today, and then maybe we're gonna backtrack.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Okay.
who are you today, and what are you doing today? Where are you at?
Right now, I play Division I basketball at University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. This is my first year here. I'm a transfer from a small JUCO community college in Arizona, which is called Cochise College. And it's kind of like my homecoming year, being able to come back from being in Arizona for four-ish years and being able to just kind of be around my community and my family again. And of course, being back on the res and being able to visit has been like an incredible full circle blessing to me.
Nice. So when you were, you said you went to school in Arizona,
Yeah.
and what school was it?
It's called Cochise College, and they're actually the Apaches, which was very ironic. So But yeah, I went there for my freshman and sophomore year
Okay.
of college, and then my junior and senior year of high school, I was at Mesa High.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what brought you out to that region, that area?
There was a couple of things. The main one being basketball, just feeling like there was a lot more opportunity as an indigenous young lady wanting to, get to where she needed to be in the basketball world and stuff. There's a lot more competition, a lot more opportunity for skill development. But on top of that, too, just wanting to be around where I'm from and where my mom grew up and
Okay.
where my mom's family was.
Oh, okay.
And of course, there's the city, which is very different from Wisconsin, but I thought it was uh, something that I really wanted to experience, and it's something that I really did enjoy, and I feel like, uh, shaped who I am today.
You think
Yeah,
so? Being in that city, in that area?
for sure. Yeah,
Wow. So is that city and area bigger than here, you're saying?
yeah. I would say at least 3 times bigger, three, four, five times bigger. And just being around so many different people that I was used to growing up on the res and going to Seymour High School my first 2 years, and getting the opportunity to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds was very, very meaningful to me.
Nice. Wow. So that's where you came from, and then now you're here back in Wisconsin. So how many years was that out there?
About 4.
About four.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then what age did you leave? What age? How old were you?
I was 16 years old when I
16.
left. Yes. I left. My mom, she gave me the blessing to go, and I was living with my great grandmother majority of the time. And then I had also lived with one of my teammates who is a Navajo family, the Hunters. Um, But yeah, I mean, I'm very thankful that my mom had the trust in me to be able to go out and pursue something that I had been working for my whole life. And I feel like that's really what elevated me to have the opportunity to be able to bring it back to Wisconsin.
Wow, that's a big move at 16 years old.
Yeah.
Moving away from, because you've lived here all your life, right?
Hmm.
And so for 16 years you've known this, and then, but in your heart, sounds like it was a big desire. Were you excited, and was it all, did you struggle at all there?
Yeah. So I think, being, I wouldn't say naive, but being who I was at 16, I was very, very excited. Like I said, like I was really excited about the opportunity to be able to meet someone new every day. From the scope of like Seymour High School to Mesa High School, you would walk past people you've never seen before every single day. So just like the size of it was something that I kind of yearned for when I was younger. Like getting out of like everybody knowing everybody and stuff. But like being excited was definitely like the very first like period of like what I was feeling and what I was going through, being excited and just being happy with where I was and everything. And then, of course, there was a lot of homesickness, missing my mom and my siblings, who, it was always just us. It was always us. So just kind of being in that routine and like getting to see them every day after practice and school,
Right.
getting in like arguments all the time with my sister and stuff, and then just
Yeah.
kind of going into like watching them grow
Mm.
up instead of being there with them.
Wow.
I feel like was a very big challenge my first year. Um, and then too, like there's always like the athletic and basketball side of it. Like a lot of the girls were there were a lot of girls better than me than what I was used to here, but I think that was something that had really pushed me to get better, having that competitive drive. So I think all around, family struggle with just missing home, missing my people here, not just my family, like my friends, my old teammates and stuff. And then the athletic struggle of like, wow, there's so much more talent than I have been exposed to in, you know, Wisconsin and stuff. I need to get better. Yeah.
Wow. So, and that's just high school, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's like amazing. I feel like it's amazing because, I think about 16-year-old mindset, body, mind, and spirit, who a 16-year-old, not every single one, everyone's different, of course, but, I think of that, and I think about being settled in one spot and feeling that safety sense, and then, but your heart, following your heart and going to a bigger, unknown space. You
Yeah.
don't know, and well, of course, you might have had some family there, but still, it's still not home here with your, your, I was gonna say your other cubs, and your other, family, and having that routine and all that. So that's really, to me, brave of you to make that move. But yet, I feel like it must have been like your strong desire, like you said. I've seen this, you've seen it, I guess, maybe when you were younger, and you wanted to, you had the drive, and I don't want to even say endured it. You went through the struggles of emotionally and mentally, and how did you get through some of those emotions and those days that you were missing home, missing family, and facing all the, you had to level up as well as a basketball player too, because you met other people. That I love that you said, well, people are better than me, so how did you get through some? Was it sometimes unbearable, or was it always feeling like some kind of support, somewhere, somehow did you land?
Yeah, I mean, like being a teenage girl, of course, there's days where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Like, this is like, why me? Like, this is just so hard. But at the end of the day, it was what had helped me get through a lot of it was having trust in myself and knowing that that's where I needed to be in that point in time to get the opportunities and to get to where I've always worked to be basketball wise. So being able to sacrifice a few years of what I was used to, my routine, my community and stuff to which I mean, I didn't know I was going to be able to come back here. I didn't know like and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't something that I was specifically aiming for. I was always aiming for the highest level possible in college, D1, but it just like I said before, like it was just a very full circle moment and I'm very glad that I trusted myself and when it did get hard, I didn't immediately say, "Oh, the answer is go home. Go home, don't go back. Like you tried it, it didn't work out." But I think that happens a lot with Native Americans and indigenous people who have been so, succumb to where they grew up, their family and everything because especially with people at reservations. When
Mm-hmm.
you think about it, like that's generations and ancestors that have come from that land. That's a spiritual attachment, a genetic attachment, a hereditary attachment. So when you go somewhere, and I mean, no matter where it is, if it's another reservation too, like you're gonna get homesick. But there's nothing wrong with going back home. I don't wanna
Love that.
yeah, I don't want anybody to think that like if you set out to go somewhere like that's end all be all, that's how your mentality should be. No, cuz like home is always where, your people are going to be. And there was times where I got to visit home. The first couple of years I didn't get to visit a lot just because of like school and stuff, but like it's always going to be there. And that's something that my mom had told me with powwow actually because I did used to dance growing up. I grew up I would say I grew up more in the power world than I did the basketball world until, my interest had shifted a little bit. But my mom would always tell me, there'd be powwows during schools and some of my friends would get to go. But she always told me like powwow's always going to be there.
Mm,
Which I think is the same as like home,
I
which
love
is always
that.
going to be there.
Yeah. So she was one of your main supporters in getting through those things, and like those, like to me, when I talk to you, anytime I talk to you, I feel like there's like there's this really wise person inside of you, like, and so it's interesting to hear that. So like to hear you say, I had to trust myself. That's a big deal, because not everybody can trust themselves at that age, or sometimes even adults. Like there's that the world is set up for us to not trust ourselves.
For
Yeah,
sure.
to question ourselves, right?
Especially within the indigenous people. I think
Yes.
systemically, it's
Mm.
very, very, um, you know, set up for success of certain people, and I don't think that our people is someone that a lot of people want to see succeed. Therefore, like trusting yourself, trusting your gut, and also being able to get through things, knowing that it's okay to lean on community, is a very big thing. Because I feel like that's something within the indigenous community is asking for help. Something that I've seen my mom, struggle with, and like seeing that growing up, it was something that I kind of needed to work past. That it's okay to let people know you're not okay right now, and it's okay to let people help you as well, which is something that really helped me get through, the last 4 years of being homesick and being away from my community and stuff. Was the family that had took me in. I call them my foster family, the hunters and stuff. They really, they were almost like a stand-in family for me. Like they gave me a lot of the things that I feel like they may not have known, or known that I felt like I was really missing at that time. And like just being able to like be included in like family meals every night, and like, oh, we're gonna go do this and stuff like that. And like all of them always supporting me with basketball and stuff. Of course they had a daughter that I played with, Ash. But like even now, I'm still in all the family group chats and everything, and like they still treat me as if I'm one of their own, even though I'm not there anymore.
Wow,
So
that's
yeah.
amazing. That to me is a major support right there, because you have a family, your foster family. And how did you meet them? Like, did you already pre-know them before? Or?
I did know them before I had moved. I played with their daughter a couple of times on an all-native AAU team, and when I had moved there, I was kind of in the air about what schools to go to. I had a couple ideas, but I really really admired the way that she played. She's always been such a like a tough player. Like I always admired the way she played. And when she found out that I moved there, she kind of convinced me to hey, like we're always here if you need anything. Like I think Mesa would be a great fit for you. Like I would love to play with you. Like you should definitely try to come here. Like
Oh,
there's like
that's
I'd be able to
encouragement.
help you kind of like adjust and stuff.
Yeah,
So
big
that was,
encouragement,
yeah, that
big
was
support.
definitely
Wow,
something that helped me make a decision and everything. And like I would have, there's nothing I would have done differently the last 4 years for
nice.
sure.
Love that. I'm just like, should we just be done? Because you said a lot. I'm kidding. No, I mean, it's really cool to hear. And do you mind me asking how old you are?
Oh, I'm 20.
You're 20.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's just, I rarely hear, well, I don't talk to a lot of 20-year-olds, but I do. But to speak some of the wisdom that you share and the acknowledgement, I'm like so enthused. I just love every bit of it, because it's also healthy thinking, because you're talking about connection, you're talking about knowing yourself and trusting yourself. And so you got all that in some of those ingredients that just in your gut, and just trusting yourself is such a huge thing. So kudos to you for all that. And those are some really good things to put in people's baskets to work on.
For sure.
If the audience, or if anybody hears that or understands of your personal success of where you are, you said it's the last 4 years you've never regretted any of that, and you have, and in your story I've heard all these things, those things that are really important. So and the fact that I feel like you got your mom resonates with that. It sounds like to me that she supported some of those things, and some of the things that you learned from her that maybe she was learning at the same time, and that you guys together got that ability to learn that for yourself, right?
Yeah, for sure. When like I can't imagine being a mom and like having like your daughter like be so far away from you and everything. So that's
Mm-hmm.
a whole other perspective of that side. But at that time, there was a lot of growing going on both ends of that like my family there and me. And I feel like every time I would visit and every time I check in, it was like there was just so much growth happening. And there was times where like my perspective on it would be like, oh, I just feel like I'm missing out. Like even with my siblings too, like my youngest brother having autism. There was like when I had first left, he wasn't very social, but he was starting to talk a little bit more. And then like the first time that I got to visit him since I moved, like it was full conversations, him asking me questions, all of this. Like it was very like a literal blink of the eye almost. Like I
Mm.
saw you then, and how much growth in between, and not just for him, but for my sister and my mom. But that's something too that I learned is like it doesn't matter what age you are, like there's always room for growth and healing somewhere. And that's something that the great Sue has
Stop.
taught me as well. um,
I never said that. I'm kidding.
No, but something I've been coming to you since I was in middle school. So I think it's coming up on like, how old am I? It'll be like 7 or 8 years since I first started,
Wow.
getting guidance from you and
Wow.
everything. And, the time that I came to you was, I don't want to say a dark time, but it was very, like, I feel like that's where I started to mold into who I was. You know what I mean? And having you was very, um, like you were a guide, like you guided me onto the right path when I so easily could have fallen off into not where I am today. Not to
Yeah.
get into any specifics, but
But you do the work, so you're a good listener. You know what I mean? So like, it takes somebody to really absorb. Like every time I talk with you, it doesn't matter if it was back then or even today. When you're even to now, even this moment, when someone's saying something, or you're like such a student. You're a very good student. Like you just really absorb everything and all the energy in. And so like I'm imagining a coach for you that is coaching you, that you're absorbing everything that they're saying, probably visually, probably energetically in your body, um, and your determination, and you throw all that to mix together. And that's got to be a huge, I mean, that's all I've ever known you, is just to like, you got that really deep look of like, I'm getting what you're saying, like I'm like with you side by side. So it was like that since day one. And so that goes, you yourself is the creditor. Nobody, of course, there's a lot of guidance, there's a lot of coaches, there's all these things, but you are the main person that you chose. You were the one to make the choices. You had choices all along. And right?
yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that's a big deal. I mean, it's a huge deal. We all have choices. So I feel like um, you can take ownership for where you are today. And of course you got support, a lot of support and guidance, but soulfully you have to make that choice. So yeah. So thank you for the compliment, but I'm just gonna throw it back at you because it's all you. um, so the other thing is I was kind of interested in is, like I said, we were kind of starting out there. Let's go backwards a little bit. And um, so what was it like for you as 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, young woman, young girl, in your life? What was that like for? What is it like for you? Did those things play parts in you and who you are today? Of course it did. But the diversities, maybe the good times, the good things, grounding tools, maybe, or whatever comes up for you when I'm telling you this or asking you this. What comes up for you?
I think growing up in the powwow community or the powwow world is something that has instilled a lot of pride within me of my culture and my people and everything and my ancestors. And um, I feel like that is something that has really stuck with me from my childhood all the way till now. Is it's not just powwow that like you can carry on your ancestry and your traditions with, but as long as like you're holding that and you're being an advocate for that, no matter where you're going or what you're doing. Like it doesn't just have to be powwow, it can be basketball, it can be in the classroom, it can be like at like your job, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That was something that I feel like really molded me and uh kind of got like my mindset of like I want to do this like to make my people proud. I want to be good at whatever it is I choose to do, to be able to like, oh, like, Native American people, like we're still here and we're still thriving. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind about like childhood and how that molded me. But I think something basketball wise, being super young, um, going to Seymour Community District schools, you don't there is a good number of Native Americans there with how close it is to the res, but equal opportunity. I felt like me and a lot of the other people in surrounding schools that didn't go to the Oneida District, equal opportunity was something that I feel like we all kind of struggled with, and that's when Maria and Derek King, they made the Oneida Futures basketball, and that's something that I learned a lot um, from them in kind of relevance to who we are and how we have to work 5 times harder.
Yeah, harder. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And two, just wanting to prove people wrong. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that was a really big motivator in our team. Like, and you know, like even just being like we were little, like we were like second graders when we started this team, and it was like by the time we were like third, fourth, fifth graders, our fifth grade when we like went to state for the first time,
Yeah.
like we all just had like a mentality of like we want to show like these little res girls can really like we're winners.
I love
You know
that.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's something you know, like we're talking about community and like people that helped guided me, like Maria and Derek and Dirty, Maria's brother.
Yes.
They're all people that really lifted me up and kind of nurtured my passion and like my competitive drive for basketball. Like there's no way a little 9-year-old girl should be crying this hard because they lost a game and like the rest like they're like, you know what I mean? Like I was with basketball, like I hated losing, but they saw that and they never told me like you need to stop crying or like you need to get over it. They understood like what it was like to lose, and they understood that you know, my passion for the game maybe ran a little deeper. And then that was something that they really nurtured, was just
Love that.
yeah.
Right. Nice guidance there.
For sure.
Like if somebody is like you said, I love that idea of somebody like they can see that passion. The passion is like this brought me to tears. You know, this I take this another step deeper here. You know, that's a big deal. So that's awesome. So so I hear the passion is when you were in getting that nurtured, and someone that came along and understood how you felt, the love that you really felt for the game. I think that's amazing. I love that. I love that fire. So it's like they lit your fire. Your fire was lit, but they just added to it.
For
They
sure.
added your fire more and brought out the best in you, and they never shamed you. Things like that. That's just amazing, you know, to have that support. So thank you to them.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. Thank
you. Anything else that you wanted to add that you feel that helped you, brought you to who you are today? In your childhood, anything else that you just comes to your mind that like, because you are your own person and you're a lot, you know, and I think you are comfortable in the limelight, right? Or no?
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. I feel like you are, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a comfortable space that you need to be in if you're going to be your goals are high, right?
Yeah.
So and you are the oldest?
I'm the oldest. I have a half brother, Floyd, who's older than me.
Okay.
But yeah, like with shared custody, like when he was with his mom's side of the family and stuff, like I was the oldest in the house. And then when my parents had split and my mom moved and everything, like I was the oldest in the house. I feel I don't mean to sound, but like I do get a lot like older sibling, like just meeting them and not telling them that I'm an older sibling, like they can kind of like guess it, I would say.
Yeah.
And being like an older sibling, I feel like is like I've always been really protective over like the people I love, especially my siblings, and that's something that I feel like you kind of get from being an older sibling. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have that role too. So does that fit into the basketball world right now, or has it?
Basketball world, I would say just in the way of like I just want to make them proud, and me leaving, I wanted to show them that like, you know, it's okay to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And another big part of the reason why I left and I felt like I was able to stay was because I knew that I was chasing something rather than running away from something.
Ooh,
and
that's good. It is. I mean,
which like I've told my siblings, like especially my younger sister, like if there's something or there's somewhere that you feel like you need to be or you want to be, then there's like home is always gonna be here. You know, like you need to go out and stuff. And now she's actually out east for college, in Philadelphia.
your sisters?
Yeah, which was a little scary at first, but she's loving it. She's doing what she's doing there. You know, our little songbird. She's in a cappella group and stuff like that. But yeah, like within the basketball, just showing them how much hard work and dedication and just kind of like staying the course no matter the interruptions or like the hardships that come along.
Hmm. And I'm glad you shared what you shared. But what I was saying is, being the oldest, did you bring that role, that leadership to your
Oh, to
game, to the
basketball.
game day today?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I feel like every every team that I'm on, I feel like I bring some kind of leadership. I'm
Do you?
very vocal on the court.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm not scared to like speak my mind, but I've always enjoyed being the positive one on the team, like the hype man, you know, like I really
Do
enjoy
you?
like
That's so cool.
yeah, I like yelling around and like cheering for like my teammates and stuff, but also like being there to like help pick them up is has been something that has made just the game that much more fun. Like we talk about community and how much it takes to like lift someone up as they're younger, but even like within basketball, like just the team aspect of needing a team and needing people around them, you know, that are going through the same thing and stuff like that to really like uplift each other and get us to the best of our ability. Um, but yeah, I've always strived to be a leader of some sort, whether, you know, I'm given like a distinguished leadership role or not, like it doesn't really matter what label you put on it. Like I'm still gonna be who I am and um, yeah,
Yeah.
try to lead, not
Yeah.
force any kind of leadership though. I
Right.
don't.
I'm not getting that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. It seems like you enjoy it. It's like that's a natural thing for you, and I think it does it partake because you were the oldest, eldest child. Is it part of that, or is that and part of your optimism? It seems like. Is there anything significant in your life that has changed your life? Like anything, any moment that created that you really learned from, whether it was a dark spot or a lighter spot, doesn't matter. Is there something that comes to your mind that really ignited you to feel safe and be who you really are?
Like at any age.
Yeah, at any age and time in your life.
I went through an injury my senior year. I didn't get to play my senior year of high school. I tore my ACL in my right knee, and
Wow.
not only was that like a healing journey physically, but like mentally and emotionally, like being away from home and going through that was really hard. But like I said before, like I wouldn't change anything about the last 4 years,
Yeah.
and that injury I felt like really made me sit with myself and really understand the scope of basketball player versus person,
Mm-hmm.
and not only relating myself to being a basketball player, like understanding that I'm more than a basketball player. Like I'm also a person. Who does this person look like? What does this person like to do? Because once basketball was taken away, it's like I was really like, I don't want to say identity crisis, but it was just like, well, what now? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I supposed to do with my time? Like at first, like my worth felt as a person pretty low
Did it?
because I was unable to play basketball, and that was something that I felt like I really needed to work on because as much as I love the game, like nobody's knees and back can hang in that long to be playing like how physically demanding basketball is. So having kind of something like to fall back on is like who I am as a person, what I enjoy doing, what do I want to do outside of basketball. That was a very big step in my journey that equated to me now.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine like playing ball for like since you were younger till, you know, college time and then I mean high school time, that's how many years? And then having an injury that takes you out on your senior year, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you said, senior year?
yeah.
I mean, that's a huge thing to endure.
Hmm.
So like mentally I'm more curious about the downtime on that. Like, if you wanted someone to give a message, I mean, you shared it, but I'm sure it was deeper than that. Like, who do you look like? Who are you in that darker time?
Um,
Like in that moment of like, oh my gosh, I'm devastated.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that was a very big thing was just devastation. like you said, like the game that I loved and that I've grown up playing. And it was a very big, um, I've always been told like the love that you put into the game, like the game is going to show back to you. And that was something that I really thought about a lot with my injury was like, well, why? Like
Yes.
I moved so far from home at the time of my injury. I felt like I was playing the best basketball. I was really starting to like get get over the hill, I feel
Right.
like I was really starting to feel a lot more comfortable with my game style and be like more confident than I've ever been. And then for that injury to happen, like it was a lot of like why? Like I don't understand. Like I moved all the way here to be able to do this, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm not going to be able to my last year. Um,
Were you angry?
oh yeah,
Did you get angry?
it was my mom. Like she put it in the perspective of like I was grieving, and it
Yes.
was a grieving process of the healing process was like someone grieving, and to a lot of people like that's going to be like, well, it's just basketball, you know what I mean? And that's something that also too like I felt like I wasn't supposed to or I wasn't able to feel those emotions because like it's just basketball. There's people going through way worse things. There's people that can't do things that are worse than what I can't do right now. I felt like in the grand scope of things to other people and the people not around me but to people looking in, it wasn't that big of a deal. So understanding like to me it was very devastating, and then like really like understanding like what a grieving process is and allowing myself to go through that
Did you get
was
professional help with that, or?
mentally and emotionally no. I like of course like I had the surgery done and then I had physical therapy all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but like the people that I leaned on in like my community, like my foster family, I even went to you, I remember like right before it had happened, um, but they all played a really big part in just making sure I was okay and making sure that I had what I needed to
Oh,
be okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So community and family came and supported you. Sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just like being at that age and having to deal with just like these really complex emotions and
Right.
like like I said before, like getting something that you love so much like taken away from you for a little bit, like that was also like my injury was also something that had driven me harder, um, to get back to where I was. Not only that, but to be better than where I was before. Because, like I said, like I felt like I was just getting over the hill with like my confidence and my ability on the court, and I wanted to continue up that hill.
Mm-hmm. So you were injured in high school, and then that kind of struck you. But you sounds like you worked through that. But not that it wasn't easy. It's just it sounds like it was. I would imagine. I just can't imagine that happening. Like putting you out. Like because and so then you recovered. How long did it take recovery? A year?
About 9 months.
About 9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened after that 9 months?
Um, my one of the native teams that I played on, they let me play with them in Nabi, which is like a really big Native American basketball tournament in Arizona, and that was like that meant a lot to me because I was like, okay, like this is like now I know for sure this is my last high school like basketball thing that I get to be a part of. And then right after that was move-in for the junior college that I was going to, which was in Douglas, Arizona, a very, very small border town, like 10 minutes away from campus. There was a Walmart, a McDonald's, a Church's Chicken, and then like the border was like right there. Like you could see like the fence. So yeah, uh, after my injury, Nabi, and then it was time to lock in for college, which was very serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you nervous about going into college and playing
Oh
and
yeah, like with my injury, even still, like that whole thing is a healing process within itself. Outside of just like the physical scope, is like the mental side of basketball, like trusting yourself again, physically, trusting your training, trusting the time that you've put in to strengthen your leg and your knee again. It was definitely like my first year. Like I made myself a shooter, so
Mhm.
I didn't have to get like so much physical contact in the paint and
Did
stuff
you?
against like these grown grown women of college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But it slowly got better, and I think again I had an amazing coach the last 2 years at Cochise College. Her name's Misty Opat. And like I wanted to redshirt my first year, which means like you do everything with the team, but you just don't play, and it doesn't count against your eligibility. So I wanted to get stronger. I wanted to get more comfortable with my knee, and she told me no. She said you don't need to do that. Like you're gonna be fine.
Well, she
And I
said, yeah.
was, yeah. So her having confidence in me definitely helped me gain confidence in myself and my strength.
Nice. And so what is the biggest thing then you learned from that injury? What you said something you learned from that. So what would you say? What did that give you? What was the blessings out of that?
Um, the blessing, I would say, being more thankful for like the little things, like taking for granted. Like I had to learn how to run again, and like being like it's like the first like I want to say it's like the first 2 months when you don't get like full extension in your knee, you can't walk on it. Um, so like now like when we do like conditioning or anything for basketball when we're running a lot, like it's totally changed my perspective of like wow this sucks to like all right well at least I can run. Like I may be like dog tired I can't breathe right now, but like my legs are working, which is you know
Yeah.
thank creator that my legs are working right now.
Right.
So definitely that perspective is something that I feel like really positively impacted me. And then too, like I said before, um, valuing myself as a person outside of basketball.
Mm. That's good. Yes, love it. Because you
And
never know, right?
yeah,
Even today, we don't know what's going to happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something I feel like could be applied to other things too. Like you see so many people professionally like invest so much of their time and like when something goes wrong in the workplace, like it's it really affects them as a person. Which I mean, yeah, like it's always gonna have any kind of like negative or any kind of dark place is always gonna have an impact. But being able to like separate those two from your worth
Right.
is very important.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for sharing all that stuff. That good wisdom again to share. So like what I'm hearing, I hear a lot of good stuff. Just to put an overview of what you were saying to me, since you were small, different phases in your life, the struggles, well, one other question before I end. What is your goals today? Um, I remember you saying to me that I had this goal. I want you to get some feedback on that. You had this goal, and you shared this with me, not here, on the outside. You shared that. Well, I've always had this goal, but I've never spoke of it. So to be Division 1, and in my perspective, and not that any of it's wrong or right, doesn't matter. But I'm always like, if you have something going on, you need to tell the universe, right?
Yeah.
You need to talk about it. You need to put it out there. But for you, it was so strong in your heart because look at where you are. You're in Division 1 now, and so knowing all the things and everything that your journey has brought you to this day, what is your goal in the Division 1 and after?
Yeah. So like you had mentioned before, like my goal was always to play Division 1 basketball, but for the last 2 years, especially after my injury, just being scared of failure, not reaching that, I didn't say that to a lot of people, and I think that's something with this goal that I have now is kind of the case, but I'm starting to like me and you have worked on it, not being shameful of my goals and like yeah, it's okay to fail and stuff, but if you have this goal, confessing it to the universe and then just having that be like a power within itself. So my goal right now for Division 1 basketball, coming into a new team, I would love to be a starter. Starting five is a very, very big goal. And I'm not saying like starting five like the whole year. I can't miss a game. I have to start every single game. But at some point in the season, it's a very long season, but at some point in the season, I would love to be in the starting lineup.
Sweet.
And that's something that I feel like I've been working for every day unconsciously, whether I spoke that goal out or I kept it within.
So you're following up with action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you manifest stuff, and that's just. I mean, I love it. So, what year are you in?
It's my junior year.
You're in your junior year,
Yeah.
so you have this year and next year.
Yeah.
And then, what do you have any future plans in your mind right now?
For basketball, no. I don't think professional is what I want to do. I'm not sure, but wherever the wind takes me, whatever opportunities I get, I'm not gonna completely shut the door to that. And it's not a goal that I'm just not confessing, but
Yeah.
I think it really depends on where I'm at after college, because like I want to get my degree. Obviously, right now I'm in health sciences, going towards occupational therapy.
Okay.
I would love to work with the indigenous community in a healthcare setting, or people with disabilities. Growing up having a brother with autism, kind of being surrounded by that and aware of that. Uh, and then two, being a coach would be absolutely awesome. I feel like that would be so much fun to be a basketball coach at some point. I've always admired what Marie and Derek did for the Oneida community, and not just the people in my grade, but the people in my sister's grade, 2025, I think. Just the impact that they were able to have on just one community with what they did, was like in a way where like they gave back, I feel like. And that's something that I've always wanted to do, like no matter what I able to achieve personally, but I always want to give back to my community and the people that really lifted me up to get me to where I am today.
Nice.
So I would say those are my goals outside of basketball.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. So, I think our interview is over. I mean, there's a lot of more questions and thoughts that I want to share, but maybe we'll do a part 2 in a couple years after you're done with college. We'll see what happens, right? But
For
I
sure.
do have I do think of other things. I could just keep on talking to you. You're really easy to talk to. So I think that is what we're going to end with. And if there is anything else that you want to share, a piece of wisdom or advice for younger people that are wanting to do like you were doing, the succeeding in different ways, and what would that be if you could just share something to end the show?
For sure. Like we talked about before, something that I really want to communicate to the younger generations, especially our indigenous people, anybody growing up in a reservation, or anybody that feels like they need to be somewhere else to succeed. As long as your intentions are good, as long as you feel in your heart that that's where you need to be, then you need to go. And go out there, experience. There's so much beyond our reservations. There's so much beyond our towns and our communities that we grow up in. And leaving is not a bad thing. Leaving is you putting yourself first, putting your goals first, but also understanding
Love that.
but also understanding that home is always going to be there no matter where you go, no matter how long you're there for. Home and community is always going to be there waiting for you.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Love it. I'm going to end with that. And I also want to thank you for taking the time
Of
out
course.
of your life and sharing yourself with the world, or whoever the viewers are here. I also want to say that you have an event this Saturday.
Yeah. This Saturday, October 11th, me and my basketball team, the Milwaukee Panthers, are having a free youth clinic at the Turtle School at 10 a.m. October 11th. 8th grade and under. It's something that I've always wanted to do for our community, and I'm hoping that this is just the first of many. So bring your siblings, bring your nieces and nephews, bring anybody you see at the park that needs a place to go play basketball. It's starting to get cold out. But yeah, and then February 21st, I'll be playing at University of Wisconsin Green Bay. So just outside of the res. Would love to see people from the community there. Would love to have people there to watch and support and everything. So don't forget, February 21st, come and watch me and my team take on the Green Bay Phoenix.
Nice. Yeah. You get a ticket. You get a ticket. You. All right. So thank you. I'm very thankful and grateful for you being here and sharing yourself with everybody. So
Well,
I
thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
I also want to thank Kalona
Yes.
Media for coming here and taking their time and squeezing us in for this interview. And he always does an excellent job. So thank you for that. I
Yes,
appreciate you all
thank
the
you so
way.
much.
Yes. All right. That's a wrap.
All right.
Love it.